Yama obibia jo emma obibia akwaba. Ediba African History and Heritage TV so. Odofo ebeda obo ade ase se na dawroma wama adepa akwa bechi akwa betu yen na ye daso tinkon ayeyi ni en munyam eye ne dia. Yebesai ada African History and Heritage TV. Ati4 eni ahwefo nyina sebre bia ye de content etoso a mo hwe na mo contribute by way of commenting. Odofo enedai most of historian Kwaju Agyeman ena sabre magia kunwa meni mo bebo nkomo yi na sene ya munim no unim se me de magia kunwa se ya na ya sema mu wadenko anam de bremo intino se ne ene yeda edikan a OBY channel iso a bomodia na subscribe na share ma adofo nkaye so NTV Ausiafo wedie ene topic na mede ba no eye owura bia ye frene OBY TV the presentation bia oyeye e de answer my questions be ana me presentation bia na maye meaning say me presentation no wanti ase yi na sene ya me ka kire moda no me ye teacher ni ntino me channel we so de e ya desua na me ye teacher ni ntino se me ye presentation bi na obi anti ase ya na esese me babio na me sambe chiri na OBY TV na sema na o kan se me ye presentation bi efa sampan kunwasem ho na me se abusua no ye miensa ene yi bi firi mu e o manhia man ka mienu ena ye fill a CD form for Emmanuel Ankama Justice no ya ye 3 instead of 2 no patre se manhia nkase o mu yi 2 na o mu ye miensa minua na obobodin no obo Adama Watara nabusua Abu Mahama nabusua ena Kofisuno abusua ena Mansa Rose abusua na OBY kire se Mansa Rose abusua no eno ena beka se benya adehye na chese Adama Watara Abu Mahama Kofisuno abusua na kamiensa enti enye miensa na beyi ba ku firi mu a eka mienu na beye 9 according to him. Minua se wo ye mistake we are seeing so ye mistake na se obi hu mistake no na waka the best way to manage it ni se ube keep quiet. Who keep quiet ni pano kan ba ku mienu a on kan ye to so miensa biu nambo oye mistake no obi hu no ka no person defend the mistake no a nipa no so will try to justify it na no be kwa akotwetwen se bebira ba mistakes a why ne dada akora na ebe to abonten OBY subana wo dana di no sanity ya me ka tro ne se Adama Watara no na busua no eye the same as Kofisuno na busua no an ye frene Adama Watara representing who has you to know yede call House of Chiefs and me church no and now Bu Mahama esamai or my hene of Sampa traditional area Nana Kwame Asuma abusuapani of Akuyanyes Gate Gate no and no one a friend Kofi Sono Abiba Yamo abusuap Oba Panin of Akuyanyes Gate Gate no and no one a friend Kofi Sono na Abiba Yamo no Adama no ne maame enti Adama no kita power of attorney are not representing maame no situ no enti ohwe krata we are in the Judicial Committee of Bonhafo Regional House of Chiefs sitting at Sunyane 29th day of August 2019 Obeoze okase the parties present no or see the petitioner present, fourth respondent present, first and second respondents deceased, third respondent absent, represented by Adama Watara. In the third respondent no, Oba Panin of Akuyanyas Gate friend Abiba Yamo. Sabre no anasi to no koso Nana Kofi Sono Nana Kwame Asama nso awu nti na akoka chiame no na Abiba Yamo Oba Panin no oyabrewa enti biribia ya na friends neba Adama Watara ene represent no so Adama Watara ne family no ye Kofi Sono it is a obeka say Adama Watara abusuya Abu Mahama abusuya Kofi Sono abusuya Mansa Rose abusuya binuya OBY wati nti eho namde eno ebisi na binuya OBY who use term bi say o hweme me ma form gang with some people please me need more educational background there, but I'm told they say what Chira there was training college be paying. And okra there mean to me. The word gang no enye kasapa. Okase ganga or gangsters are a criminal association. It is a word now we use to mama say oponim kodwajima menen krofobia form gang no. Ebe ya betresai na okani ba te se won emfata se sa kasa wi ebe pie afriwa no masem eno ena osanka bibibio se me previous presentations are me no me pe abre asante ase eno na ye expression we use here please kasa bi to see no enye kasapa Ghana ni ba esese oka if say sabio asante no ensensen wiem no bi atwe abafom abrenance ena asante no so no eka Ghana man no ho enti so o kasa o bre group bi anankrofo bi no masia na je say o bre Ghana man no asia na ase de enti o kasa we no so enye o kaniba tze OBY enye kasapa ayese oka nti no hwesan what you OBY TV ena menso mate media media no but me botai titro ne se o man Ghana mu babia ahensem edin tokwa ba nkowiasem din tokwa ba bia no meye research nam dia beto abonten magana fo ahu ni enti a etesa me botai no otiase me botai nyina no. And also what to OBY TV. And I will just say, oh dear, wasn't my home the rule now the bebo. And ye, Asantini ya DNA nyakura obeka say ye. Oh dear, and no, intifa. Na meso memfame dear. What I say? And also mediasi. And now, okay, we say, my previous presentation in a member Asante din. My brother, mo kasa asem no de. Eya munya akan. Mo munya akan na yenya ti. Na mo kasa na mo ho kra ya yihu. Why? Because my Ghana na yetim no. You cannot reconstruct the history of Ghana without Asante. Ghana mind tetre na yetim no. O can history Asante bebom, whether you like it or not. And a history be also the negative aspect or positive. And it's a way I being say make a history. Now make Asante and now one yes now where's kwa. Ebi a Asante na ho ye no kra wuni ma de kro he. Buku ye kitami. The fall of the Asante Empire. The 100-Year War for Africa's Glucose, written by R.B. Edgerton. We, SLO, New York, London, Toronto, Sydney, Tokyo, Singapore. What I say? That is it. There's another book here. Asante Under the Prempers, written by Todd of Oxford University Press. And also, then the position of the chief in modern political system of Asante, we aka Buzia. And African Perspective on Colonialism, written by Albert Adubois. We okansa buku ya Asante factor ube ti Asante asem. Then you come to this book. Asante and its Neighbors, written by J.K. Fenn. Okay. Ghana, Evolution and Change in the 19th and 20th Century, written by Albert Adubois. And also Asante Factor, Ubeti Asante Ding. Na Oka Mbukwe, Asante before the British, the Prempian years, 1875 to 1900, written by Thomas Lemoine. This man, or a professor of history and of African studies. We, and also, Ewoho. Intino, se wo catch them say, me presenting singina Asante there. And the other books we no. Just be a mama yeshe no. And now mama ye free system num there. Because my Ghana na ye team no. Esan say Asante for, I'm talking about Ashantis in metropolitan Asante. Beye se bebe kon atreba bataba minti ben de oman bia kontokwa e Ghana. And therefore no oman bia ni ho tribal state bia ni Ghana ha oka nasema Asante din. What you say? Enti ano de sansem na moka no ebi obi wa na se de jaka na yenya etie. You can't tell me that. What you say? Eno me de no akusi. na me catch us tano subini value num kuro na ewo ho no ntokwa ewo sa ponum ho no is more than 100 years old. Enti meye research na ne ewo ho no de abetuto abonten na tano subin ho no problem ewo ho no eye Techimai versus Asante, who started as far back as in 1936. Wait. Eno ne ama eho bribia no confusion wo ho no. Entita no subini nkro na wo ho no wontimi nye ne history wo breko a wo ma Asante din. You can do that. Entisa Asante din na me bo no e won presentation no. Ene hamodia ene OBY mesro se fa practice wanim na da bia kotena ho na wo sugum ene mum na ebeboa na ne wo kan de enya de a eno ebeboa na nye no so na ebe momagya ne yameye because all these books literatures are wo ha nyina Asante ukoka dagumba history krana Asante component wo eno man bia so ni wa wo history negative aspect in enti so ka chem se me twen Asante asenya na okura Ghana man no umpeni yi I expected say nko be ka se me twen Ghana man assign but se o tribal state no be twen na manasana na okura no ohun esere and besides what's that kind of presentation num say me no me pese me interviews amaye nyina no me pese nka me ka e de brass antiase enso ba bia meko bia men achieve me aim he OBY me hwa wonim no wanyini kakra mum but em say usa yes OBY I'm telling you for a fact usa why the country say me achieve me aim me aim ne say near ACC ho by what grounds no money party that is my aim and ultima me koye ho for interview sa me panka interview no me ye nipa na me posti se me fi say interview no me ye no se ekuti amya nka me posti because I composed with same posti but eno eye me mbota titro se hono ne nipa na ka baba kosem no a ewo hono esese nipa te Ghana forte na beti ase ntima mde 2 page no so no do ni ma achieve me aim wonim ayemfo dodo abefrem mi bisa wonim politicians dodo abefrem per day kantem say Mr. Ajman history na wo ye no what be key be nema bia ahinta ama yate nema ase wonim the number of people befrem congratulate man ka won kan ya wo kan o te ase enti OBY me minim say o pese yesua de o say last m catch say o pese yesua de asembi sa no o frame back door ebeboa na of course ebia na o pese ama o bomdini kwadwagiman o channel no amanfo ebe party ntima o bomdini wo so but entisa de ne a o kan bia no me no minim say enya asembia say nka oka because ne a obeka bia no ntwaso of late o your presentation be say me maka say bona hemfo no bia was antimano ye second class na nka me be responded but actually me tie ye no ansi ye no na ne me kan wa confirm ntie ne kwa sem responded because o can say Asante no ya titi ni ku okwa na yɛde waka fikuo ho na OBY okoka bikuo ho okoe na atikuo no dada na asisi ne executive members dada na oka kyerɛ sɛ bia secretary we one ne nkoya adwuma wo ye na assistant da wo assistant no a wo ye ni 2 IC a second in command no onye second class wo ye second class because won't mean inside o boss no ho enkoya ne yese oye so you are a second class member and the whole crown no presentation no men am fofo anam ne be tie crown so ajingo we they don't have to respond because ne waka no ana ono OBY no wa confirm well it immediately the American say the more you people some of you people they say OBY no mo san ko funa sampon ko ya semu na mo de babonten no the more na mo mo boa na ya o Samodua the more no because some of us the others they get deeply into it until you are helping him a lot sana adeno eti me de OBY masem ne say omsem na o kan ye no bia no enya asema eye asemo a esese mebufu na mom esese me educate you me sa hu woman bi so yeso te Germany ho babi oye evangelist na me de nsema o kan kra me mampanti because ne wes na o keka no na on se obi a oye evangelist enti mampanti but wo OBY de minim se uyo obi a ope ade asua enunti ma me responded to Odiano. Now you see, what's that raising point we said? Me say Britain for unrestored Asante Confederacy na eye crocro de don. Already. Or say for lack of knowledge my people perish. What I say? Minuya. Yari say OBY. Kwasi Bruni oya Britain ni. Obaye before I make us no ma mankind I can say being free. A History of Ghana written by F.K. Boa, page 86. Also, the Sovereignty War and the Treaty of Formena ended the ascendancy of Asante as a powerful empire. It reduced Asante to its original metropolitan frontiers. After 1874, most states from whom Asante claimed allegiance began to accept their independence. These included not only the states to the south mentioned in the Treaty of Formena, but also Bono, Dabon, and Gunja. In Fasoa. You see, OBY. We teacher ni yeso wa child de pen. Yenye intellectual exercise we. What I say? Kosi Bruni oye Britain Bruni. Obaye na obi a chichire ne man. Santation ne wa chichire ne man. E na obekunti ya no. Agreementa. Treaties Britain for any Asante esan ye bia ni ho na na favor Asante. Me na mka kire ho. 1827 after the Battle of Nsamanko or the Katamanso battle Ena Britain, any Asante sign treaty say the countries, the tribal state south of Prague, ekosi kusto nyine nsam free home. Onsani tuya 113,400 ounces of gold deposit. Ma Asante ede kwajo ose kwajo na ose puku Princess 2 ekosi kam. Enochi 1831 McLean. And also Asante ene ayi esin sign treaties. Denchira before asin a confidom other state na wo ho no. Esign treaties. Say benka Asante ho bio. Ansana 1874 Eba, the Serenity War and the Treaty of Formena. Eno de kra ni wiwi Asante pasa. Enti treaties are Britain for ene Asante meka metropolitan Asante se hono na central power no newo. Esa ye nyina no. It was meant to gun down Asante, to demolish Asante. What name is wrong? That is it. And the Britain for unsigned treaty be to favor Asante. Nantisa, after the Serenity War, and the last battle between Ashanti and British now, Hefene Yasantua War. Ena BBD Asante so. Nebeche prempe the first, the no cost 6 years. Asante ahemfo binum so bebobo batuo hangi binum kunwon. No do hini kosie. Now, no betena okurum ho. Se odi so. Oba no since treaties agreement with all the states are now Asante hunu nyina. The Northern Protectorates will sign treaties with the Gomba Gonja states Obianko Trane Babi. Even Metropolitan Asante will sign treaties with them. So Obianya them Obianko Trane Babi. No Obianko Trane Babi. Oba bono na hafu ha. Domanum techima nom brekum will sign treaties with all of them. Sasa atene yaguno. Obianko Trane Babi. And now no better baby no to has a high there a crown colony of Asante. Asante no Manguno. Aha kino for the crown, British crown, colony of Asante. No better now. O hene ochino koyo. Odi 24 years no de no buy. Oba no be catch say. Or be restore. O mine no edi amount. Tieni ye. Or be restore edi amount. O mine no or sand their brew bill. O mine no wa papa emu awie no. Or sand their brew. Afedie ba upon a befru by the Treaty of Formena. Enom ne ade ade no nyina no de o se benka ho the Northern Territories ayiba frim. Even ba na bete the Crown Colony of Asante num kra no o se enye compulsory because na Britain for na commit be ho asinsan treaties with them. Enye compulsory Ethiopia bra enti atebu because on kono se tena baby because my sign treaty with you Britain for no be himself a comment be on be ba be kan treaty no be at OBY. This is a treaty the British signed with Wiase aewo atebu nje ho Also, whereas Kwadwo Afrim, king of the country of Wiase, and the chiefs and principal headsmen of that country, for, and on behalf of themselves, their heirs and successors and people, have agreed to enter into a treaty with Her Majesty, the Queen of Great Britain and Ireland, Empress of India, etc., 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 her heirs and successors, by the said Captain George Ivran Lam, Royal Excellency, acting for that purpose for the said governor. Now, therefore, Kwadwo Afrim, king of Wiase, and the chiefs and principal headsmen of that country, whose names are hereinafter signed to this treaty for themselves, their heirs and successors, and the people of Wiase, on one part, and His Excellency Frederick Michel Hodgson, companion of the most distinguished order of St. Michael and St. George, acting governor and commander-in-chief of the Gold Coast colony, a subject, and representing and acting on behalf of Her Most Gracious Majesty, Victoria, Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, Empress of India, etc., etc., her heirs, successors, by Captain John Ivran Lam, a subject of Her Majesty, acting for the governor on the other part, do hereby enter into this treaty. Article 1. The king of the country of Wiase for himself and his lawful successor, together with the chiefs and principal men of the country of Wiase, whose names are hereinafter signed and sealed, for and on behalf of themselves and their successors and the people of Wiase, hereby declare that they have not entered into any treaty with any foreign power with regard to that portion of their country which is not included in the action of the territory belonging to them and known by the British and German governments as the neutral zone. Meaning, also this agreement we nsema kese ewo or say Britain for the sign you sign treaty no a cover Kwadwo Afrim, king of Wiase, one ni s awu kono ba beba na chi nyina treaty we besi nne treaty no cover be se wo sign se ono Kwadwo Afrim oni Wiase man no bede obia enko treaty mu obia foreign power bia enye nhehye. Where foreign power means say a power outside the country of Wiase no bene ne enye nhehye bia bio bene ne enye nhehye. Article 2. There shall be friendship and freedom of trade between the king, chiefs, principal headsmen, and the people of Wiase, and the subjects of Her Most Gracious Majesty, the Queen, Empress, and it is hereby understood and agreed between the contracting parties to this treaty that the British subjects shall have free access to all parts of their country, exterior to the portion which is now known as the neutral zone. You see, treaty we no sign with Wiase, signed by Kwadwo Afrim, Mima Kwame, Odai Kwame, Kufu Ompe, Kwabena Dakwa, all of them, chiefs. John Land, Captain Royal Engineers. Or no? Ena Britain for the sign treaty way. So treaty way one amanamanu nyina sign. Amanaman no na bewo the Crown Colony of Asante no. Ebeye the former Bono Ahafo region and Ashanti region no. All the tribal states on a baseline agreement. Oka say or restore Asante Confederacy no. Nkasa agreement we nkasa broni ni twam. Nkasa broni no say ye no krese or restore Asante Confederacy. Nkasa agreement on it ahemfo no ye nyina so ye protection agreement. Friendship protection and trade bi an nkasa osan ye den osan cancel those agreements no nyina. Broni na cancel the sa. No buy or your crocodile de John adanko dada be say because they no per se sante hene ebe stabilize your friend is saying obe kasa kire na hemfo na bi janto kwakon na wanya kwane adidwanti ne ode sa ade no ibe beat na wote ho woni age because 1897 the largest British investment in West Africa in terms of gold, Anglo Gold Ashanti. We started in 1897. 2019, it beat South Africa. What I say? It beat South Africa. 90% of British mineral exploitation in Ghana come from Ashanti region. I'm catching who nima copying Britain for buy Obwasi good mines, but to the 128 years, they are buying Ashanti region. No, they are Ashanti region and now Obwasi crab Britain for betting the best artists who say we and the ever Ashanti more year to base for 128 years. No, they are yet the abobini. Now, say any panel. Or no be dadao say oh my restore Confederacy jewade nomne ade na ye yode say e ya nokre wa restore Confederacy obe no sante hina chechire ne man ne wo begu no kakra na e ka ya awre wa restore no ne awre wa restore de ama no wo san broni no wo san temane no. Masa, you have to think. Asante ni dia kura who Britain broni kura nkese upyo. Because Asante mo ma hwiase ina eya British. Obe no obi achechire ne man. Ne wo begu no. Oso de man na ma obi no wasa atim. Wasa na atil court. Mrakura obeshe no kura no wono sanshe mano. Now we restore ne mano de amano no. Think about it. Ni gold pudu osu utu kura so a wo mane social investment bank and na Britain for social responsibility ben na Britain for started two good Wasi gold mines be two ska ko 128 years ni o ma ye no Ashanti region o ma ye no Obwasi wa so man foforo bia so a Europe and Africa ha ba bia nko Obwasi ba bia kra nka chese nko Obwasi adante say New York ni pa na be your crocodile job because Britain for buy no basro kwasi broni wa soro papa onim se Asante fo bani je be hene ho entie de nkofa ohene no ba na me krokro no esoso ne so a bebe ye boko ma gold no motu di akọ ne okofa no ede no bae no biti no ye ne krokro de jon wo man no he ma restore eni e na kotinum ne Asante man no Asante Crown Colony of Ashanti no ne oditeti ma Omaya or the war restore. Obia oya tebubu hene country say oh media men ko osu won kwa okrat no baby. Na dey no cry a region. Ndi air restoration no. Air restoration. Air restoration no tom. That is why Asante Man Council no send ya etieno. So hini bi team no kase mi jaya. Untimi nkoche no. Because one treaty a Britain for we are say esan ye. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni a table for esan bi any treaty theories. What you say? Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bẹ́ẹ̀ esan bi. Plenty of it. What you say? Bẹ́ẹ̀ni bẹ́ẹ̀ sinsan say treaty no. Eno akoye binding. Enti broni no kan say ode Asante Confederacy no eba biu no. No ye ni so enye compulsory. Enti no yenko bisa na ebe join. Na obo obi a chichere ne minus or the minor be man bi wa. Eno so nka okọ bisa na ebe join. Se nka oba also o minor ni fa wa de no odi so. Nka okọ bisa. Se wa na ebe join ma beto so aba. Enti no eye krokro de John or the bitimo or the biti Asante. Uni ma me kan tro. What you say? Na ndokre na me kan fomu aba. Naija say oh bre Asante ase oh bra Asante no sabu ensinsen wiem no bi atwema na be si for. Na ndokre e na me ka tro no mi bie ki bi e dia ma no hu kwasi broni a osuro no e na Bob Marley emancipate yourself from mental slavery. Number ourselves can free our mind. What it? No dada bu kwasia. And the same trend in our politicians. Benam so abedi bu. Ba beti Asante manim kwasia. Why am I saying that? Politician biya nimse. Asante for de. Okrokro be hene. Wanye ade biya oho be region num kura bepe. Okrokro be hene na ode dana form na Sante Hioba na moto kedi edi animu pempe populus wo be di animu soja fo be di animu na Asante fo ho bebe bo bensem pra enti ye sama no kra no ya nye hwe Asante reading kra na Asante fo no pe enti strategy na Britain for use ye di BT Asante region mu fo no eno na politicians no enam so no nti mi bie madwenim mi bie OBY think about it. Uti kakraka na eso no nyankopon amfa amon say didi gum keke. Or say think. The same trend. And abenam so no. Obi sorry how de your friend say na nanado. Why nye hwe wa Asante read. Why they can't say why nye hwe wo. Why they can't know. Oh you smart. Nanado you smart. Ohun say Asante for money jimo hena ho. Edim krokro hene no. Oko bruchire me man flight. Me mo soja for go dinanim. Ba ye ni say. Manya hwe wo region num kra na amamfo hu. Na me nkrofo abefiri me mo busuafo achemfo no ma pesika ma bagu. A pesika gu be bottom na batimo nya sika control the political party MPP no. If Asante for was going to be team control party no. That was his strategy. In the OBY, where Mawa didn't yet na adwen kese na mde otu utim no. Out wa otu to papa so. In the Britain for ebe ye Sante hene krokro de don. Oh, you don't mind na man so na beboa na betim. Be dite atene court. U dite tima. Nti we no restoration no. Enye restoration. Nti Asante man no send ye etie no. Ete sa sorry eyekuo ba be wom no. Penny be tim. Obi tim no ka se o ma. Wo ye ne hwe untimi nya ne hu. O na ya na otumfo nkan. So Asante yen show bi aso mesom ne. That is it. Okay, what kind of thing? Eti enye compulsory. eno na me pese OBY oti ase enti menkasa bibiri obusafo memfa cheme voice no emma papa because manya cold kakra menkasa bibiri na ne mempese OBY ne ada atifo eti ase ne se onye madwen se me ka history se me kasa tia Asante no oti ase me boa Asante no unima me boa obi e power pampama no wo hye wapom dene asem na me kanu nyina me momtimo na ya na ma mutie no binum kra ho esere utio history the positive aspect no wa fa abafrim negative aspect no wa fa abafrim na wo ko wani this book written by Thomas Lewin this history book, the title is Asante Before the British, the Pembrian Years, 1875 to 1900. Or say, I'm reading from page 71. Kwakubia contested with Kofi Kakari, who went to stay at Bremai sometime after he left the Golden Stool. Some people in Asante felt that Kakari should be made Asante Hene because in his first reign he gave money freely to people. Yacha, the Asante Hema, supported her own son Kwakubia, and the two sides fought at Breman and later at Kenyase. Niamkaya OBY wotin one mame no te se Germany wa mote yin. Also then they fought at Kenyase and Breman. Kwakubia ode Kofi Kakari. Kofi Kakari a ono ne tam na your friend says Sagrenti war by no pa konwa na dibio. Enti after the Sagrenti war no e wa Asante wa no kra no Kumasi nkonwa asem no kra no e be ya competition na be kon mkasa asem we a Broni bi na be ne research awadro e obuku we na otia na okase me bra Asante asia na opese otrese na okra no Asante no awo kakra won tiase. You don't understand it. Enti mem dem kase bagwie no, what I'm telling you people to understand, OBY those who think like you no asem we are making fako adwendwene ye Ghana manayeti no nka se yewo history of Ghana. Yatre history of Ghana. History of Ghana be a compulsory subject from JHS up to university. Nanka tribe bia edewo. But you know that the reason why the history of Ghana curriculum no kra no history nka. Do you know the reason why? Say ye ka say ye tire history of Ghana ebeka oman we abomu a esese tribe bia de ebam. What I say tribe I've talked to a lot of politicians on this. What I say esese tribe bia de ebam. Na tribe bia de ebam no so wo nipa abadwene te se OBY because say ya tire Asante history na ya tire ne se yewo asem bi wo se banafo ene Asante ekonye ena kusi bodum banafo bonituo yede no ko kuma se ekosan yade na owu ya ebe ya oya because unti bi da wadwene be ya se ese history of Ghana no bibia yebeka afa Asante hu bia no positive anya positive for obubefu. Politicians no ya aware. They are aware. That's why they vote. Enti ye kwatwere history of Ghana. Na ebe man krofo binum bo fufu de a. Ene ye ntra ye ba bi. Na obi antra onti no Obeko school from JHS up to university level. Na Ghana minor or team crown unim ni history. Unim or minor shasiye. Unim the tribal compositions. Unim. Na madwen da je kete. Enti ye nim Ghanaian history enti no or minor do ankasa nationalism no. Ghanaian nationalism no eniyamu. Ghana crash for Ghanaian nationalism eniyamu. Oko US history is composed to go to Japan, the same thing. One year university crown senior high school level composed of most of the advanced countries. Their history is compulsory. But who kita be say your history of Ghana it shouldn't be balanced, right? What tribe na woman no as I say your uplift is our tribe no. And therefore, near suppress will be in a tribe. A politician no say say ye na tribe will be no be food ye near Jani in it. Nkofo abadwen ete se obi wa no. Ene na amayete ye ABC no. Enti me de ndoma se me ba wiye no. Wase wo kan head office brass anti ase hwe nye no ne be ma ne me ye no magai. Because research na me ye no nam channel no de tutudwa no. Nipa kese professors, politicians ahemfo kwani be frem be bo ma ba so he. Wow, we cover material ofumai bini ebisunu we what I say ofumai cover materials on Ofuman state nema ko yin photocopy misuya wow files were equal form files we cover materials on corner etimeme kasapa files we cover materials on corner what I say even no was say cover materials on corner doma atibubu everywhere we cover materials on corner and I may hold ma namde no cre history no abeto abonten medical na tre article dia fa ho na article no tre kwa ni pa dodo se ne be kwa kokai na mo me be ka ne page no so dia dodo no abiti me botai no na nyese me botai se me twen o man bi tribal state bi aside me menye tribal state nationalist me ye Ghanaian nationalist. Na me started presentation we no. A man for abe bam ho me office kra no. Me kan bi jira kra na o kra ebe ye onwa. Bebe damase no. Ahim for akese be chia me nsam ka tem say Mr. Ajimai, we history there o kan no. Dede bia na ewo nkrum a started ecoform. Mentim ho ase mranti bia na bente ndemo biase no o betitim konkon biase kra be boti a started ecoform ti nyame so aduma na me ye no eti nya ne a wo kana mitie na mom ne nyame pe na mitie nti wo wadwen a wanya se o pese brass anti ase na ba bia obekwa o kan asem no kra na nye no na wunya no ho na ka to se nye resource no na mnya near Beckham interview no me ye no asema Beckham eno nim pese dom no te oti ase nya se near mem pese mte ne Beckham se ne nka mete ne nka me ye interview no nka me edit hono edi afrim oti near mi fi se mem pese mte no nka me edit edi afrim ba me ye interview no ne nipa na Beckham no sa na me present no nam de atum mpese public no for public education purpose. That is my goal. enti OBY media minim se o obi a ope adesua enti nea presentation na o ye no na o pese mba na mbe chiro niema bi nti ma ba ma chiro niema bi wonte assemblias na osan eye presentation for fra mesna ba abechiro na mum no ne me chiro ne se number 1 sa kasa na uyusu yese gangs no enye kasapa gang o kase ubia form ganga gang no eye criminal group enye kasapa se obeka achirunua yese otene onsa baba ko wo oyonko nipa so a nine na aka no esa na eba oso ena o kasa o kan eno otwe asante no stop otherwise amanfo be kase o ye tribalistic because Ghana man na ye team no o man Ghana no eso chen tribe bi e wo Ghana enintuma ye wo ye national anthem say ye na ra ya sasi ne ya board den maye no entinka mo presentation no kra na enko ye say Ghana but o the tribe who asem na wo ka dia it is rather unfortunate na say one say o tribe o say o wani jo tribe who nti o project o tribe de yen kan sem fon fa no ho o tribe de ye kan history a na enye favorable no kra no ma yen kan na ye favorable nko obi de obeka obi de obeka me start your presentation me ye Germany o ye na nasu ma hene o kan sembi me na me be kotu authorities mako 10 to indicate say Asante any German coin ema udi aboko fisun ni maybe ye Germany o but this is a typical academic exercise. Men kasem ye German ninti ebeye nya SMDCA. Made the 10 different sources. Ebe to abonte. Ohwe eno de na ye de. Na ye de. O de say kan de ayo ya. You think about it. Memye Germany am the 10 sources say 1 2 3 francophone and anglophone sources. Ebe two bia. Me koye sa program no old bogus. Professors, people were calling me from outside Asante for professors. No near daddy. My classmate be cram no school. Legon cram no ye lecturer. Okay, university. Na maintaining kanda. Or frame of phone so. Eno de na ye na ye koka the negative aspect. O de na ye kan negative aspect uma eyo ya. Eno ne ye friend tribalism no. Nti se subani jai na emwa. Emwa o my Ghana. Enti mede masem no aba wiye OBY eya adusua ne nkyerɛkyerɛ enye ntɔkwako me channel we me se eya adusua wahu documents e wo ha nyina what I say a cover materials me research eto da kra me be da na abo 2 o'clock readings are me no enya sempetwa enti nyesem sorry ya na me beka sewo some pakis nearby no me do musuko ekokuru no so ho we o masem no ho the statue of Bono regional house of peace materials no nyina ewa ekopie manhia me kan se nya manhia verdict no bia me comment me nya bi na start comment here ba me de me kan tell me say OBY, hey, let this sample case no, let it rest because the more you talk about it, no, say will be different, you know. The more some of us will come out with the truth. Once there was my okay, no, so no, you are what do you say more justice and come along? You are not helping him. Some guys are more visa, more talent, more crown, more western Nikki's cry. Let me tell you to understand it. Oh, as some can say Adam Awatara, Abu Mahama, Kofi Sono, Mansa Bruce, na mansa rules na yi no free mu na chese Adama Watara bu Mahama Kofis no Adama Watara no wo ze na unim ze ono so pro free Kofis no abusua no Adama Watara no ono free Kofis no abusua no mansa rules no free Samodua. What I say, that is it. And the more you people try to justify something that cannot be justified, the more you create a lot of chances and opportunities for your Samodua. And that is the topic of my presentation. The more you try to justify what cannot be justified in respect of sample case, the more you uplift your Samodua. Eti for medawase. Mamuniti adishie.